We are now going to discuss the second topic of the 4 presentations that we presented for the Lifestyle Management Program. This one is called Building Healthy Lifestyle Habits. So, the 3 lifestyle habits that I really wanted to dive deeper into is exercise, stress management, and sleep. We're going to learn a little bit about cortisol, which is the stress hormone, to coincide with stress management, but those are the 3 different lifestyle changes that are really, really important that honestly have nothing to do with nutrition, but have everything to do with health. So exercise. It's important to do because it promotes weight management, retention of muscle mass, the slower development of adipose tissue, which is fat. Reduces the risk of cancer and other diseases, strengthens bones to prevent risk of fractures and osteoporosis, slows down cognitive decline, boosts and improves mental health and mood, and then reduces risk of back and joint pain. An exercise program should include 4 different components, something that we try to incorporate here in the lifestyle management program. You'll notice is resistance training, cardiovascular training, stability and balance, and then stretching and mobility. We're going to dive deeper into each one. So resistance training. The benefits of it is it promotes a healthy body fat percent, boosts metabolism, strengthens muscles, and prevents bone weakness. In an ideal program, you should be doing that about 3 to 4 times a week. And then different types of resistance training can be body weight, dumbbell, barbell, resistance bands, pulleys, kettlebells, or medicine balls. Or if you have cans or laundry detergent bins at the house, anything that honestly weighs something. The next type is cardiovascular endurance training. There's a lot of benefits to this. It promotes heart health, lung health, facilitates healthy body weight, improves your health of large muscle groups, as when you are rowing, swimming, briskly walking, or jogging, whatever you're doing, you're using your core, your arms, your shoulders, your legs. You're using a lot of muscles at one time. And you're using a lot of oxygen to pump out into all those muscles. So your heart and your lungs really become healthier and get stronger themselves. Ideally, you'd like to do this around 150 minutes a week. So I'm sure you've heard that number. So 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, or 15 minutes a day, 3 days a week, however you want to break it up into. Types of cardiovascular endurance training could be brisk walking. Inclined walking on a treadmill can be really low impact, but still get your heart rate up significantly. Jogging, HIIT circuits, rowing, cycling, kickboxing, Zumba dancing, anything that gets you going. Next is stability and balance. The benefits of stability and balance are that it improves your coordination to prevent falls and injuries. As you age, one of the biggest things to prevent is falls. We know that that decreases your lifespan, increases mortality and morbidity. And so trying to prevent that as much as possible and just prevent injuries. You know, when you're injured, you're not able to walk and able to do things that you like with your family, your friends, you're not able to do your hobbies. So it really can impact your overall physical and mental health when you're not able to do those things. Goals of stability and balance training would be about 1 to 2 times a week. So trying to incorporate those into some strength training, maybe at the end of workouts, whatever. I like to do asymmetrical movements. So that would be doing one side of your body and not the other. You'll notice here she's doing a lunge. So that's really utilizing her hips and her leg muscles asymmetrically. You can kind of do the same with arm movements. Single leg exercises, Tai Chi, core stability, or standing on a bubbles are lots of different options for challenging your stability and balance. Next is stretching. So stretching, the benefits of that are that it improves flexibility, stress management, joint health, and it also improves your chance of getting injured. The idea of this is doing it every day, at least at the end of your workouts. You should be warming up and then stretching afterwards. But if you wanted to increase having maybe like a whole yoga day, or you want to have a full mobility day, if you like, that's absolutely fine. But minimally, you want to be doing it after your workouts. Like I said, more of a static stretching afterwards, and then more of a warm-up dynamic stretching beforehand. General exercise tips I wanted to give you guys would be including a proper warm-up and cool down for at least 5 minutes to promote healthy blood flow and proper muscle and joint movement. Do dynamic stretching before exercise instead of stretching afterwards. Include all 4 components of exercise: resistance training, cardio, balance and stability, flexibility, and mobility, and then all 4 of those throughout the whole week. Whether you do one each day or you combine them all together, trying to make sure you're incorporating them throughout the whole week. Prioritize compound movements when resistance training to burn more calories and strengthen more muscles at one time. So that means instead of just doing the quad machine, you're just using your leg extensions, you're just using your quad muscles. If you're doing squats, deadlifts, lunges, hip thrusts, Romanian deadlifts for lower body, or push press, upper body row, overhead press, tricep dips, lat pull downs, those are all very complex body movements. And so you're going to be burning more calories and just utilizing more muscles throughout those movements compared to more isolated movements. And then lastly is just amping up protein consumption and consume more food overall in general, because you will notice you're more hungry and you really want to make sure you're getting enough protein so you don't get sore. Next is stress management. So cortisol is your stress hormone, a stress hormone that is responsible for fight or flight response. I'm sure you've heard of that before. The fight or flight response increases your blood sugar, your blood pressure, sends blood flow to increase blood flow to the muscles so you can be able to move. It decreases blood flow and function to the GI system. That may sound bad, but it's actually needed. So when you exercise, if you're running from a bear, like, you need the blood to go out to your legs. It doesn't really matter if you're digesting food or not. You just need to be able to get yourself in a safe place. That is normal to occur in acute situations, and it helps manage how the body metabolizes carbs, fat, and proteins. Cortisol helps also control your sleep-wake cycle. So cortisol is higher in the morning, as you're supposed to be awake in the morning. You want your heart rate to be up. You want to be just have you more energy, right? And throughout the day, your cortisol will slowly drop so that you can fall asleep easier. And then it normally will increase during acute stress of an injury, or if you're just stressed in general, if you're exercising, or like I said, if you wake up in the morning. But if your body is under long-term stress, that is not healthy, because cortisol maintains high for long periods of time, and that really causes a lot of health issues. There are many different symptoms of long-term increased cortisol. You can have cognitive issues or brain fog, sleep disturbances, digestive or gut issues, mental health instability, high cholesterol or blood pressure, painful joints and muscles, increased risk of heart disease and diabetes, decreased immunity, overall inflammation, weight gain, increased cravings, etc. Overall inflammation is one of the biggest things, and that is usually what ends up causing all these other things, is your body just truly is inflamed. So now, how do we normalize cortisol levels and keep them managed? There's a couple different things that we can do. One is getting enough sleep. An average adult should have 7 to 9 hours of night. Some are better at 6.5, some are better at 9, whatever works best for you. As long as you wake up and you feel fully rested, that's what your ideal is. So if you would naturally sleep and you wake up feeling energized, you're not fatigued, you're not drowsy, that is your normal amount of sleep. I know my personally is 8.5. So getting enough exercise, getting that consistently throughout the week, eating healthy foods, prioritizing foods that are lower in glycemic index, that don't spike your blood sugar levels as much. So you're having foods like high fiber and higher protein foods would be of the lower glycemic index. Relaxation, incorporating some deep belly breathing, meditation, reading, drawing, journaling, or listening to music throughout the day. Also limiting alcohol and caffeine. So now you want to make sure you're building a healthy sleep routine to make sure you're getting managed cortisol levels. To do that, you want to keep your bedtime and wake up time consistent. Even on the weekends, yes, it may be off a little bit, but you do not want to be going to bed at midnight or 1 in the morning on the weekends and then going to bed at 9 o'clock on the weekdays. It can be a little of an hour difference, but not super different, because then your body's not getting used to that. And that causes a lot of stress on your body. Having a 30 to 60-minute nighttime routine can be very helpful for calming your body down to go to bed. Similarly, when you want to exercise, you have to warm your muscles up, warm your heart up, get your heart rate and your breathing up, right? You want to do the opposite for going to bed. And so turning off your lights can really help your body facilitate melatonin release. So your body's like, okay, I'm aware it's going to be nighttime now. Naturally, you're going to start releasing melatonin, which will make you feel drowsy and go to sleep. So turning off your electronics too. Watching TV or reading a book with a low light lamp. So TVs are generally okay if they're pretty far away from you, you're not sitting too close to them. Having a good morning routine, so making sure in the morning that you're opening up your blinds, turning on your lights in your house, getting some bright lights, ideally sunlight from outside. Practicing some self-care time in the morning to start your day off with a fresh mind and not start off rushed or with a high heart rate, breathing heavy, like always running behind. You want to make sure that you're giving yourself enough time in the morning to not feel rushed and really facilitating stress before your day starts. Next, magnesium can help facilitate deeper sleep and relaxation. So magnesium is actually a muscle relaxant. It is commonly used for people who get muscle cramps and stuff to help relax the muscles. So if you take some at night, it can help facilitate you falling asleep easier because it naturally relaxes your body through your muscles and your nervous system. Around 250 to 500 milligrams at a time, or asking your doctor whatever works best for you. Also, getting 7 to 9 hours is ideal versus having separate naps or proper body and brain recovery. So you don't want to be sore, you don't want to be cognitively off, you want to make sure your body and your brain is working well. So ideally, not just sleeping 3 hours, but then making up for a couple naps throughout the day, trying to get as much as you can altogether. Although I am aware with work schedules and with having children, things can be a little bit haphazard with that. And then stopping eating 2 to 4 hours before bed, because then your body is not working on digesting, and because that will keep you awake a little bit. So now eating for lower cortisol levels. You want to focus on building balanced meals instead of cutting specific food groups. You want to include vegetables, fruit, fish, poultry, legumes, dairy, whole grains, healthy fats, nuts, and seeds. You want to prioritize plant-based fibrous options, eating a protein with every meal and snack, and then eating in a relaxed state without distraction. So not eating in front of a TV, not eating when you're super agitated, really trying to be mindful in that eating session so that your body can focus primarily on digesting, because we know that if you're stressed, you're going to decrease digestion because your blood's going to flow out of your GI system into your muscles and your arms and your legs because it thinks that you're supposed to be running from a bear, right? We want to have the opposite effect of that so our body can really focus on healthy digestion. You'll have less bloating, less acid reflux, less gas, etc. If you have any questions about these things, please feel free to ask me at our next one-on-one, or please feel free to email me or ask the personal trainer to ask me the question at your next training session.